MAURICE SAM sends an emotional apology letter to Sonia Uche, and fans are already imagining what could happen if those powerful words were directed at her, because the message sounds like the kind of confession that could completely change the direction of their story. In this imagined storyline, MAURICE Sam finally decides that keeping his feelings inside is no longer an option, so he sits down and writes Sonia Uche a heartfelt letter, asking her to forgive him for everything he has done that may have hurt her. He does not try to make excuses or blame anyone else, but instead takes responsibility and tells Sonia that he knows an apology alone may not be enough to repair everything between them. He reminds her of the good moments they shared, the difficult moments they survived, and the times when they were there for each other even when things were not easy. According to the storyline, Maurice tells Sonia that he has spent enough time realizing just how much she means to him, and that losing her made him understand something he had refused to admit before. He says that if she gives him another chance, he will love her with all his heart and will never intentionally walk away from her again. Those words immediately become the part that would have fans talking, because it is not simply an apology. It is Maurice promising Sonia that he wants to make things right and prove that his feelings are genuine. In the imagined letter, Maurice admits that he may have made mistakes, said things he should not have said, or allowed situations to create distance between them, but he insists that none of those moments changed how important Sonia is to him. He asks her to look beyond his mistakes and remember the person who has always cared about her. He tells her that he understands if she is still angry or disappointed, because forgiveness cannot be demanded. Instead, he says he is willing to wait and allow her to decide whether he deserves another opportunity. That particular part of the message would make the story even more emotional, because Maurice is not simply asking Sonia to forget everything that happened. He is asking her to believe that people can recognize their mistakes and genuinely try to become better. The storyline becomes even more intense when Maurice tells Sonia that he does not want to lose her again. He says that there were moments when he believed walking away was the easiest choice, but now he understands that leaving someone you deeply value does not automatically make the pain disappear. Instead, it can make you realize what you had only after it is gone. That realization becomes the heart of his apology. He tells Sonia that he wants to be present, supportive and honest, and that he does not want their connection to be destroyed by misunderstandings or pride. Fans who enjoy emotional Nollywood storylines would probably connect strongly with this part because it has everything viewers love: regret, forgiveness, emotional promises, and the possibility of a second chance. The imagined letter also has Maurice asking Sonia one simple question: can she forgive him? He does not ask her to immediately forget what happened. He simply asks her to open the door slightly and allow him to prove through his actions that he means what he is saying. Maurice tells her that words are easy, but actions are what truly matter, so if she gives him another opportunity, he will spend his time showing her that his apology was not just something written because he was afraid of losing her. He wants to demonstrate that he understands where he went wrong. This is where the emotional tension of the story becomes stronger, because Sonia would have every reason to be cautious. Forgiveness does not automatically mean everything goes back to normal. She may need time to process everything Maurice has said and decide whether she can trust him again. Some fans would probably argue that Sonia should not rush her decision, while others would be hoping that she eventually accepts his apology. The first rumors surrounding this imagined storyline would likely begin with viewers asking whether Maurice has finally realized that Sonia is the person he truly wants in his life. Another set of rumors could come from fans analyzing every sentence of the apology and wondering whether Maurice is prepared to stand by his promise that he will never leave her again. But the most important thing about the storyline is that these are fictional emotions being explored for entertainment, not a confirmed real-life message from MAURICE Sam to Sonia Uche. In the imagined scene, Maurice continues his letter by telling Sonia that loving someone means being willing to listen, learn, apologize, and make changes. He tells her that he does not want a relationship where one person constantly has to beg for attention or forgiveness. Instead, he wants something built on understanding and mutual respect. He promises that if Sonia decides to forgive him, he will not take that forgiveness for granted. He says he will remember the pain caused by his mistakes and use it as a lesson rather than repeating the same behavior. That promise would probably be one of the most powerful parts of the story, because Sonia would not simply be hearing that Maurice loves her. She would be hearing that he understands love requires responsibility. Maurice then reminds Sonia that there was a time when they could laugh together, talk freely, and understand each other without needing long explanations. He says he misses that connection and wants to rebuild it slowly. He does not want to force Sonia into anything. He simply wants her to know that his heart is open and that he is ready to fight for the trust he damaged. Fans following the storyline would naturally become curious about Sonia's response. Would she forgive him immediately? Would she remain silent? Would she tell him that his apology came too late? Or would she give him one final chance to prove himself? That unanswered question would be enough to keep viewers interested, because Sonia's reaction could completely change the direction of the story. The second rumors would likely focus on whether this apology could mark a new beginning between the two characters, especially if Sonia eventually decides to accept Maurice's words. But even if she forgives him, the story could still remain complicated because rebuilding trust takes time. Maurice would have to prove that his promise to stay is more than an emotional statement made in a moment of regret.